everybody? Welcome to Fully Hydrated. I'm Rob Nakamura. I'm here with the High Chief, Zach Polga. And what's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing really good. Weekend of no fights or no UFC fights at least. So got a little rest, spend some time with the family. Is good.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys for joining us and supporting us. And I'll just say this, we run in segments. So we'll try to keep it concise and clean, but enjoy the ride. And we're just going to get into the first one right away is what is going on here. And this is a heavy edition of what's going on here because this guy means a lot to me personally. He means a lot to a lot of people. He's one of the all-time favorites, maybe the all-time favorite between both of us, myself and Zach, and truly maybe the most easiest recognizable Polynesian in combat sports all time forever. Still in the argument of the GOAT of his weight class. But unfortunately, we're not here to talk about the good things about the legend BJ Penn. We're here to talk about recent events. And recent events are not good. They are ugly. Zach, I try to soften it as much as I can, man, but this shit's ugly, right?
It's super ugly and super sad. And I just want to echo what you said. Like BJ is the GOAT. He's not a GOAT. He's not one of the greatest. He is the GOAT, the best fighter ever. My favorite fighter ever. Like if he needs help from me, BJ, call me. Contact the page. I will help you any way that I can, man. And he's been going through a lot, right? Like a lot of issues with this paranoia and feeling and believing that his family's been replaced and things like that. And now he's attacked one of his family members, and this is unfortunately being a police officer. I've dealt with this type of scenario, and it never ends well. It never ends well unless the person seeks out voluntary help, right? And that obviously doesn't seem to be the route that BJ's going, but there's nothing that, like I said, there's nothing I can say about the situation just because I have so much respect for this guy and what he's going through. It's breaking my heart. It's killing me.
I'm with you, dude. Broken heart, all in the mix. I want to shout out and love to everybody, but the amount of DMs and posts that I keep getting, like, yes, I know BJ Penn has been in some hot water recently, and it just sucks that like that's what I'm getting sent. You know what I mean? Like there's so much other stuff I'd rather entertain in the world of combat sports other than the legal status of a legend, and then two, the overall physical, mental well-being. Like, what the hell's going on? And yeah, this has been a snowball in the worst way so far. It's only escalating and getting uglier. But I'm just gonna keep it with the love the Zach, me, and thousands, millions of people around the world have, and the admiration. I hope somebody, somehow, some way, some professional, somebody can get in there and turn the tide on this, get him the help he needs before it gets ugly. With that being said, like Zach, this isn't, I don't know how the words, I don't want to find this. Like, we don't have history yet. This is our history. This is happening right now. Like, the sport is so young. So is it possible? Maybe have you heard of guys with lesser status, lesser recognition of BJ having like this kind of road after, and I'm going to say this part that sucks. The last 7 fights or so of BJ's career were just ass kickings. He took ass kickings, like 7 hard ass kickings in a row. Is there anybody else that kind of comes to the mind? And I know one off that I have, but he turned it around, so he's kind of like my good thing. But maybe somebody who's not as famous. Did you know any or heard of any stories like that, dude?
Yeah, and it's unfortunately a lot, too many of them, because, and I think BJ does all right finance wise. I know he runs the UFC gyms in Hawaii, but especially that old school era, right? Those guys aren't rich. They're not millionaires. You like like Aaron Hernandez, he had mental issues that they attributed to CTE. That's an I don't even want to get into that. That's another issue. But he had those issues, but was also a millionaire, so was able to keep it under wraps for 12 years. These these fighters, and I know a few of them that what I don't know. You can't not attribute it to fighting. You cannot attribute it. You cannot not attribute it to getting punched in the head, right? And BJ was a fighter's fighter, right? He fought at heavyweight. He fought Leona Machida at heavyweight. He fought till he couldn't fight anymore. Like you said, 7 swoopings in a row until people finally said, "Dude, we don't want to watch the go get beat up anymore." And that damage, it does something, right? Like I said, I don't want to get on the whole CTE train. I don't really believe in that anyway, but it does something, right? It does something to you physically, emotionally, spiritually. You can't take that much damage, come out of it with not that much money and just be okay, right? And especially dude, being on the island, being in Hawaii, it's like this bubble, dude. It's this bubble that things don't necessarily seem real sometimes. Like you get caught up in your own world. You get caught up in your own world, and it's too easy to realize what reality is when you're in this, 100-mile island basically, and you just think everything that happened in here is real. These people they're coming after me. They're just, sabotaging, taking my mom, putting people in her place, all this stuff. When it's like, dude, why does the CIA want to mess with you? They don't even have time to think about that because you're trapped in this little bubble in Oahu.
And here's the thing is, where he's comes from, in Hilo is like, folks, if you've ever been there and maybe never will, it is a small town, like super small, super extra, super small town. Like blink twice, sneeze twice, and you're driving through, you're gonna miss it. Like it's but to the point of isolation, right? Like this happens with a lot of athletes, a lot of higher profile athletes, because, well, the other side of the story, right? You get the riffraff, you get Klingons, you get this and that coming piling on fighters, making them have bad decisions later on in life. So the opposite side is a lot of those guys kind of bubble out and, like you said, kind of get isolated. And if you have any kind of mental issues and stuff going on, I'm just gonna say this: I don't have enough science or knowledge to even make any kind of clue on what's up with CTE, but I can tell you this: I know guys from the old school that got pummeled and they're totally fine. Shout out to the legend, another Hawaii legend, Ensign Inoue. I mean, you've seen some of his fights, you'd be like, oh, that brother's got to have CTE if you didn't know, and he's just fine. But then there's other guys who, maybe not so much, and it's much worse. Nam Pham, I think they showed him his slurred speech recently. So, stuff like that, man. It's wild, and I just want to say, like, okay, you got to be probably kind of like boxing, right? We have enough boxers. There's too much to say. Oh, boxing causes Parkinson's, but if you had even a twinge of possibly getting Parkinson's down the line, boxing would accelerate the symptoms and make it come on sooner. Do I think that? Yeah. There's plenty of examples of it. Just going back to the bad behavior, though, turning it around. And I know we keep mixing this up to connecting to Hawaii. I love it so much. Mayhem Miller had some banger fights in the late Icon promotion, formerly of Super Brawl, and he had a good time there. But he also had bad times outside of the cage, right? He had some years of, dude, apparently like being naked and broke into a church naked, just bust off fire extinguishers and have a wild time and wild stuff like that. You remember Mayhem going crazy, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So then he turned around. It seems like, I mean, from the podcast he does with Adam Hunter and stuff, he's seems to got back on the right track and helping others through coaching and whatnot. Zach, do you think there's, and I know everybody's story is different, but do you think there's I know this is pure speculation, that we can have that for BJ? Like, we can have that boomerang, like a boomerang turnaround? That's what I was trying to say.
So I have to believe that. I have to believe that this isn't the end for him, right? It's not just off into the not the sunset, but off into whatever, and he's just gonna be this guy forever. And that's like the hardest part in the sphere. He's done like several podcasts in the middle of this. Like I think he went on I don't know, it wasn't Rogan, it wasn't that big, but he's went on several podcasts, didn't mention his family being replaced at all. Seemed fine. Gave great, wonderful answers. And then that's all you see on his Instagram is the belief that his family's been replaced. And like I said, this is you hit the nail on the head that fighting does not cause these things, but if you already have the penchant for it might happen. It definitely accelerates it. It definitely doesn't help it. And what also accelerates these things, and I don't even want to speculate other than my expertise as a former police officer and my knowledge of Hawaii, but there's also some substances that cause this type of paranoia that make you act a certain way, make you do insane things, and then as soon as it's out of your system, you're a different guy. And it's no one said anything about that, but I get him clean, right? Get some good people around him, get him thinking right. And I have to believe that he can get better and turn it around.
I believe if anybody can, he can, and many others have already. So there's a blueprint, there's a way to do it. But just like you, I'm hoping the right people, right personnel find a way to get in there. And you're right. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's shitty because, Hawaii, obviously back in the Dog the Bounty Hunter days, and everybody else knew that was a problem there. But it's a problem in so many places with so many people. And there was back, let's just rewind the clock. Yes, recently, I would say yes, in the recent years of this decade, we haven't heard any kind of rumors about BJ, like, substance abuse wise. But rewind a little further behind that, there was some, I don't know, pictures he took with other fight legends, and Brada had the classic dark eyes and all the other kind of stuff going on with it. But from then it seemed like he moved forward, and I felt like, just like you, I keep seeing him, doing random stuff. He shot for governor, didn't happen. Okay, then he backed it down. Okay, let me do city council, and he seemed okay. Like, all right, that seems a little bit more realistic. Let's start at city council, right? And he seemed to find there, maybe not the best politician, but not any of this stuff. So I'm hoping, I know this is crazy, the craziest thing I'll probably ever say today, just at least today, but I'm hoping he has a drug problem over like real permanent irreversible
Yeah.
brain something, right? Like
easier to fix. I agree. I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the backup on that. And so there I am. Here we are in the year 2025, and me and Zach are somewhat rooting for substance abuse in this scenario of BJ Penn. This is, man, I gotta say, man, the dude's never boring. We can say that, right? The dude, he doesn't do boring on any level. Zach, any last thoughts or things about this?
We've said it to death, and I'm gonna say it again, man. This is nothing critical or like trying to dog on BJ. We both love BJ. BJ, if you're one of our 10 viewers, we'll help you out, man. This is nothing but love, and we're just reporting the facts of an unfortunate situation.
That's exactly what it is. And love makes it there eventually. And I know, I just hope he has the time to receive the love. That's all I can say. And with that being said, that is the end of segment number 1.